Yeah.
I didn't realize you're sitting that far away from Ralph.
Yeah, speak up. I can only hear your laughter.
He said something funny. Laugh back.
Imagine Ralph stuck in a cave. I can't hear you. Do a laugh.
Ralph, laugh for us.
Laugh in Morse code.
Yes.
The cave's caving in.
I can't.
He's bringing it down.
Oh, God. Yeah, this was always what was going to happen, wasn't it?
So this is all going already.
Yeah, it's already. It's been going for the past 5 minutes. So. Cool. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Board Game Gateway episode number 32. This is a very special one we've got coming for you today because we have not one, not two, not three, not four, but we have all 5 hosts behind the microphone, and we're going to go starting from my left. We have Mr. Ralph.
Hi, everyone.
We have Mr. Damien.
Hi.
Coming to my right, we have Mr. Blake.
Hello.
And for some reason, he's here with Mr. Matt.
Yeah, Matt with the hat.
Matt with a hat. And I am your host, Neba. We are your entryway into the world of board gaming, tabletop gaming, and fun times. And I've got a really special one. We are doing the Board Game Gateways Board Game Geek Top 100 draft tonight. So that is going to be the focus solely of this episode. Yeah, I know it's the BG Gateway, BGG, T100, TT.
What's that extra G for?
Version 1.
So if you've never listened to anyone do a draft, we'll explain it a bit before we get to there, but once we get to the draft. But I do want to welcome all my hosts around. I mean, obviously the biggest shock to everyone who's watching is that Matt and Blake are now back on the podcast. Like, what, this has been the first time in 8, 9 episodes since you've been on the podcast?
We've resolved our issues. Let's
Yeah.
just put it that way.
We duked it out. We're fine.
You went to counselling?
It's all good. No, we did it like men. We're fine.
Pistols at doors?
Mud wrestling.
Oh God! Well, it's glad to have you. It's glad to have you two back, and glad to have everyone here. And look, shall we just get straight into it? Because I think this one could go pretty long if we're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm keen for it. Let's do it.
Fantastic. So, if you've never listened to a draft before, what's going to happen is we've given ourselves a list of games to pick from, which is going to be the Board Game Gateway's currently ranked top 100 games as of today, the 18th of April, 2023. So what's going to happen is we are going to pick games that we want to have in our collection. And the stipulation is at the end of the game, we are going to each have 5 games in our collection. And those games are going to be the only games you can have in your collection.
Now, it is important to note that these games are only those that are in the top 100.
Only in the top 100, yes,
Yeah.
That's right. And so that means, unfortunately for me, I'm probably going to have to throw out all of this stuff you can see behind me.
I have to say goodbye to Blood on the Clock Tower.
Exactly right. I did check if that was on the list.
Oh, you were going to ban it.
I was really thinking about it. Yep. And this time, so we did do a top 5 gateway game draft in about episode 12. And so we've decided to do it again, except this time we're adding in something a little spicy. We are doing a secret ban, which is every one of us gets to write down one game that you can ban from the list, except we're doing it secret this time because we think it'd be funny just to go, you can't have that game.
So
we've all written down one game that they cannot have, but we won't know about that until we pick it. So other than that, we need to know our draft order. Because it is important, because whoever gets first pick, it will go first, second, third, fourth, fifth, then fifth, fourth, third, second, first, so on and so forth until we each have 5 games. So I did something already. So Mrs. Glynn, if you could please bring over the envelope, we'll get started with the board.
I've been away so long, I transitioned and I am now Mrs. Glynn. Oh, no? Oh, sorry. No?
The actual Mrs. Glynn, as she comes down for the Board Game Gateway's Top 100 draft.
There's no clicking wheel or anything.
No, she has randomized it.
She's got an envelope and everything.
We have a theme song. Thank you very much. Non-copyrighted NFL theme song. She's going to be passing us.
We allow the NFL to use our song.
Yeah. Are you reading it out for us, Lee?
Yeah.
She's going to read it out for us.
You can hold a microphone.
You're going to hold it up to the camera as well.
I'm just going to...
Camera 7.
Camera 7.
All right, so first pick of the draft. You can stand right there. Tell the audience what is the first pick of the BG top 100 draft. Blake with first pick.
I'm never coming back to this
I was
podcast
so
again.
worried she was going to say me.
And I banned Blake.
Blake is going with first pick. Following up, we have. Yeah, well, you're here now. Oh, second pick.
Let's just go in a circle. It's fair.
Yeah.
Damien with third pick.
We might get the double ban. The double.
You do get
know.
it. And then third pick.
Ralph.
Matt with
We are going in a circle now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, makes it easier, I suppose.
Yeah, it
and
does.
fifth final pick. Obviously. Thank you very much. Thank
Great.
you very much, Georgie, for gracing us with your presence once again.
Sorry, I do love the 600 cameras.
That's the best acting I've ever seen you do. Wow. Alrighty,
Oh, someone
That's
just.
nice. She's
You are
fluffing,
allowed to ban knee tonight.
Yeah.
she's fluffing
Yeah.
the cushions on the couch for you right
Yeah.
now. That's nice
I
of
was
her.
being serious. Sorry, if
It's
that came
okay.
out sarcastic.
That's where you're going to sleep for the next week.
It's okay. It's still above freezing outside. You're fine.
I have a query before we get started.
Yes, please do.
In the top 100,
Yep.
the Great Western Trail features twice. Did you know that?
No.
Both editions
So does Eclipse.
are in the top 100. I haven't picked up on the Eclipse.
Yes.
Well done. So
Well,
does that count?
It's not a top
They do count.
98.
No, that's
so
fine. They're separate.
yeah.
They're separate editions. They are separate games.
They are.
Okay.
Therefore, it is fine. You may pick.
I do want to say
Interesting.
at the Board Game Gateway, we love our board games, and one of the oldest board games, well, it's been going on for a while, is Bingo. So I have made us all bingo sheets, and what I did is I actually just picked 32 board games and put it in a random generator, and it gave us all 20 games in front of us, and we're going to play bingo tonight until someone gets a line. Okay, it can be up, down, just orthogonally. Okay,
No diagonals.
no diagonals. Oh, you can do diagonals, sure. Why
Oh
not?
God,
So-
I've got Brass Birmingham in the centre. I'm not getting a centre line
now,
ever.
if,
Oh my
if
God.
one of the games on your bingo sheet is the banned game, you can cross it out as if it was a bingo.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, good, all right.
And I did bring a prize, and it is sitting in the center of our table. It is a little trophy that I generally have in my board game group, and we haven't been using it for a long time. So I was like, why not? Let's use it for this. So it's going to be a great little trophy. It's a little holographic Death Star from Star Wars.
Damn nice.
Love it.
And yeah, I thought we could just sort of pass it around and just have a little shenanigans with it.
Okay,
Nice.
Desta.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So if you want to see the trophy that we're talking about, go to our YouTube page. Go to youtube.com /@BG Gateway. That does work now. Or you just type @BG Gateway into the search bar and you will find our YouTube page where you can see the video format of this podcast. Hello there. All right, so no more faffing about. Let's get into pick number 1 of the Board Game Gateway's BGG Top 100 draft. Remember, the criteria is the best 5-game collection only. That's it. First pick, you are on the clock, Mr. Blake.
Well, look, I think that I'm going to have to get my second pick ready because I'm sure someone's going to ban my first pick. Look, it has to be Terraforming Mars.
Got the ban hammer has
The
come
ban
flying
hammer has
out.
come
I'd like to
down.
point out that it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I banned that. I've overplayed it, and I just think you're better than that.
Ralph's ban for Terraforming Mars, a big opening swing.
Number 1, you're better than this.
That's okay because I have the replacement for Terraforming Mars and I'm going to pick Ark Nova.
Oh,
First pick off the list. Ark Nova goes to Mr. Blake with first pick of the draft. Then moving to myself.
do we want to explain the game for like 20 seconds as well? Just a brief overview as to why you picked that game.
Oh yes, very quickly.
Yes, well, it's everyone that says it's, the Terraforming Mars clone or, the equivalent of it. Very similar.
I do believe I said Terraforming Mars, but zoo is how I refer to it.
But Zoo.
But zoo.
But
But dude,
Exactly right.
Blake got it. He's in.
There's no cats in this one, so you're ready to go, Matt. No, but look, it's... Well, despite the limited amount of players I've had of this game, and I'm definitely wanting to line one up soon, Ralph, it's it just no game has drawn me in quite as quickly and quite as it's quite as straight away as Ark Nova.
Nice.
And I think if I'm not going to get Terraforming Mars, then if it's my top 5 games, I've got to have Ark Nova.
Nice. A man with a contingency plan. I like it. I like it.
I that's a very you
respect
pick,
the play.
and I respect it. That
Yeah.
I don't have to like it, but I will respect it. That's fine. Okay, so I am up next. So on the clock is me here with pick number 2, round 1, pick 2. And I think I might as well just get it out of the way. I'm picking Brass Birmingham. Does anyone else want to? Does anyone put on the band?
Matt is leaving the room.
No.
I'm curious. No one banned Brass
No
Birmingham.
bans?
I was going to be that guy.
I was going to be that guy too, but I thought someone else was going to be that guy.
I'm not going to be that guy.
I thought one of you would be. That's why I went for the pick, and I got it through. So I'm gonna lock in. Actually,
Big plays here.
Actually, should your collection get -1 point if a game's banned? No.
Nah, we're not that brutal. That would just be
Fair enough.
all right.
As someone who already has potentially -1 point, no.
So the reason why I picked Brass Birmingham, it is just my absolute favorite. It's my favorite route building economic heavy game that we've got. It is the current number 1 ranked game on the BGG's top 100 list. So it is. A lot of people really like it, and I think I just adore this game. From the way that you have the 2 acts of the game of trying to figure out what you want to actually build, what you want to focus on. It does reward you for specializing, so figuring out those plans. But yeah, Brass Birmingham, my number 1 pick, and I'm really happy with that.
Such a cop-out pick.
Look,
Let's just pick the top game.
But the
Done.
thing is, if I didn't pick it, Matt would have picked it. And there's no...
Yeah, but now I've only got 3 games left in the whole 100 that I've ever played. So I'm like, well, what do I do now? I
That's
can't
not
get
true.
the top 5.
That's not true. There's quite a few
Yeah.
in there that you have played. I know because I had a look today.
It's all right,
And I was tempted specifically just to ban ones, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to be that mean.
Just
Anyway.
keep staring daggers at him. It's
Yeah,
more
that's
for
fine.
my entertainment. It's
All
great.
right, so then moving on to pick number 3. Round 1, pick number 3, we move to Damien for your first pick of the draft.
All right, so what I've done is that I've actually categorized all of my picks
la-di-da.
because
Done
la-di-da,
research.
that's right. That's freaking right. So
I
anyway,
love the color scheme as well.
yeah, it's got a color scheme, everything. It's fantastic. All right, so first game.
Nerds. These bloody nerds.
Blake and I both showed up tonight. What's the website with the big
What was a board game? Something geek? Was it?
This guy's got bloody notations.
Yeah, I do. Bite me.
He's got the ranked. He's
Yeah.
he's got like, if this
Yeah.
goes, then I go to that.
He started off his
Yeah,
list
and
with
I also-
a note to the editor. Like,
Yeah. He's got the tattoo of the designer on him, like-
No, I can't because fucking Rhino Knizia doesn't have a single game in the top 100 anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's utter bullshit.
It's rough.
All right, my game.
Yeah.
In the silly fun times category, because that's why we play games. It's for silly fun times. Crocodile.
You will not be having crocodiles, sir. The man hammer has been swung.
You're banned.
I want it. No, I want it on record that Nee does not like to have fun.
I will
so
say that.
And his pick was Brass Birmingham, which is arguably the sellout choice.
Exactly right. He's a sellout who doesn't know how to have fun.
You know what? I was literally tossing up crocodile or brass as my first pick, and I went, I don't think I can go crocodile first pick, so therefore if I don't get it, nobody gets it.
Fine. Okay. My backup option in the same
No,
silly
you
fun
don't get,
times.
you don't get 2 picks.
Yes, he does. He gets it because I
Blake
It's a
did.
secret
Oh, because you banned.
bet.
Oh, I
Secret-
forgot.
He
Yeah.
doesn't get it through, mate.
-1.
A crocodile is off the bingo card.
Nice.
Silly fun times. My pick, The Crew.
The Crew.
Oh, nice.
So always good, always fun. Trick taking game, but co-op, which was such a fantastic concept at the time, still remains a fantastic concept. So The Crew is my pick.
It's not bad.
I have to be honest, the Crew was on my list, and I have now had to give you the box.
That's okay. fine.
You are very much you love your trick taking games. It doesn't
Yes.
surprise me that this is your first pick. A very interesting first pick. All right, well, we'll move on to pick number 4 of the first round. We'll move to Ralph.
Okay, now I'm gonna risk being a ban here, but I need to have this game in my collection of games.
Well, how many bands are still on the board?
3 bands still
Three
going.
bands on the board.
Blake, Damien, and Matt still
I'm gonna
get
say
throw a
it.
band down.
Gloomhaven.
Whoa.
I was tempted to throw the Gloomhaven down there. But
My backup was Jaws of the Lion anyway, because that's also in the top the top
that's a
100. But yeah, Gloomhaven's a game that means a lot
true.
to me. Currently playing Jaws of the Lion and introduced a new player to it, and it does a great job of it as well. But yeah, just the amount of replayability out of that box, the amount of game there, especially for that price. I saw someone selling it brand. It was on the used market. They opened it, looked at the box, put it all back. $90 on the used marketplace just today. Blew my mind when I saw that.
I'm pretty sure if you get 4 Besser blocks, it would cost more than $90. But yeah, a box of Gloom would actually weigh more.
You can literally do your garden landscaping with this box.
You could.
So I highly recommend it as a landscaping tool or an actual game.
That's fair enough. Gloomhaven makes it through. The number 3 ranked game on the list makes it through into pick number 1.
And what hurts, it's not on my bingo card.
Do I? I actually have. Yeah, I've got this. Sweet.
Ooh, right in the center. Thank you.
No
all right. Well, moving to the end of the first round, Matt is going to be on the block now on the clock. You get 2 picks in a row here. So
yeah, but I've got to have 4 lined up just in case 2 of them get banned.
That is true. That is true. So
you know what? Just because it's uni, I'm going to take TI4 off
Ban.
your shelf. Are you?
Yes! Yes! Great band, David.
I mean, I knew it was in there somewhere. I knew someone had it on the list. Not only just for me, but because I know Ralph likes it as much as well.
I think it's all in our top 10s, hey.
Not
Maybe
mine.
not Damien, but everyone else.
Still 2 bands left on the list. So
Matt, you can't be too upset at Damien because it was also my ban.
Oh, really? Double band. There it is.
Double band.
I think that you just lose a turn.
I'm going home. It's just not been my night already.
We'll see.
The only reason I really wanted to take that in the first place was because you don't own Brass. That's my game. And I don't own Twilight Imperium.
He owns Brass
And
now.
I know the Twilight Imperium was far more expensive than Brass was.
Not only do I not own the game, but I show it.
I was going to say, it's a private place. Like, what the hell?
All right. Anyway, let's move on to your next pick. Well, Matt,
Now I've got to have another
there's
one.
only one person who has a ban left, and it's you.
And
so
it's
as long as
me.
you don't pick your own game here, you'll be fine.
Actually, yeah, can you please do that just so you can ban yourself, just for entertainment
Why
value?
not? Hey?
Whoopsies.
I'm going to go with my first one. I'm actually going to go for Search of Planet X.
Ooh, it is in there.
Good one.
If you had to take another knee game.
That was on my list of potential games to go grab.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a little detective game, it's one that when it first came to the table, I absolutely adored straight away. Even though it frustrates me to no end every time we play it. But yeah, that would be my first.
Fantastic. That's a really good logic deduction game. And now that brings us to the end of the first round. So then we go back to so now we're at the top of the second round. First pick, Matt, is with you.
Bugger. Not ready for this.
You're like, I couldn't take that game because I
That's right.
banned myself.
Technically, that was 1 and 2. Now I've got to go to my third. No, it's.
Have you guys ever played the game Citadels?
Yes.
So-
That was my very first board game that I ever bought.
I had that game and I played it with a large group. And you secretly choose a role and then you ban a role essentially. Like a certain role just loses a turn. There's one character that just cancels out another turn. And characters turns, like you choose your character in secret. You never know who anyone is. I played a game of it. The game goes to 20 minutes or so. My wife just lost every turn in that game. I think she got banned like 4 or 5 rounds, and she's like, "I hate this game."
Yeah, that's that can hurt. There's a really good no rolls barred clip.
Yeah,
that does the exact
oh
same
yeah,
thing.
with John. Yeah, I
it's
saw
really,
that.
really funny. All right, Matt, top of the second round. Here we go. Round number 2, pick number 1. You're on the clock.
I'm going to grab Decrypto off the shelf.
Decrypto, good.
Solid choice.
Very good choice.
Again,
Why Decrypto, Matt?
Look, I think I'm right now in a bit of a deciphering mode in my game choice, considering I think that all the games I actually wanted have already gotten off the shelf, apparently. So I'm left with the bottom of the list.
Well, it looks like you like a bit of a puzzle with Planet X and now Decrypto.
I do like a good puzzle. So, yeah, that's why I would have picked Decrypto.
interesting.
Haven't
but
played it in a while.
It's not even just the puzzle game. It is a really good family and very good like party sort of vibe. So really good. All right, so that is Matt's first pick goes to Decrypto. Now we move into the second round. Pick number 2, that goes to you, Mr. Ralph.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to steal a game off Damien's shelf here. I'm a big solo gamer myself, and I love Mage Knight.
Ooh. Interesting
So
pick.
Mage Knight is a fairly big one-player game. It is multiplayer as well. I would not recommend it above 2. 1 is really where it shines, to be honest. But you're figuring out that puzzle, that constant internal struggle with yourself and what you can do on your turn, and So many options. Pretty much unlimited replayability as well. Highly recommend it. If you want a good complex solo game, that's just incredible. Highly recommend.
Interesting pick. So we move into the middle of the second round with pick number 3. Damien, we are heading towards you, sir.
All right, so I have a game that, Silly Fun Times.
You love Silly Fun Times.
I do
Is
like
the
Silly
theme of
Fun
your
Times.
whole collection?
No, just for that pick. So, but for this pick, we're going to go with the family game, or probably a better term for this grouping would be, let's pretend I'm here for the company and I'm really not here for the alcohol. Azul.
Azul.
Interesting.
Solid choice.
Yep. So Azul is probably one of the first games that I introduced to the wider family, so hobby board games, if you will. Still gets played regularly. It's still one of the few games that just stays in the boot of my car because it goes everywhere with us. So great game.
Is it purely because it's Portuguese tiles that you're playing with?
Funnily enough, that was actually the thing that caused me to pick it up off the shelf.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I just got it because it looked pretty and
That was it.
it was a good looking game.
I recognize the name. I recognize the artwork. I put it in front of my grandmother, and she goes, "Oh, yeah, okay."
So does the name Azul actually mean anything?
It means blue in Portuguese.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
But there's a lot of colors in there. Like,
I know.
I don't understand.
I
Okay, fair
don't know
enough.
why.
Yeah, the designer was a bit lonely when he made the game.
Fair enough. And other colours.
And
Yes.
other colors, Azul, etc. So yes, Azul is my pick.
Nice.
Fantastic. And that means we move on to pick number 4 of the second round, and that is with me. And seeing as TI4 got a swift
Kicking the nuts. That's what
Yeah.
it got.
Yeah, absolutely did. And I do want to have a space game sitting in my collection.
Ooh, I think I know what's coming.
I think I'm going to have to go with Eclipse here.
Yes.
I think I'm going to have to go with Eclipse as Eclipse 2nd Edition. I really do enjoy that game. I've only played it twice, both on Tabletop Simulator. But I just love how you create your ships and how you can how you can make them very different from each other and have a different thing and just go and fight. Like I like TI4 for the grand scope of things, but I love Eclipse for just like going, this is my ship and I'm just gonna try and blow you up with it. I think I love it.
Yeah.
So
What I really like about Eclipse is, yes, you build your ships, but it creates those stories and those amazing moments as well. Like, because you can build a ship that's just absolutely crazy, but you only get one big shot with your guns.
Yeah,
That's fine. I'm going all missiles all the time,
Yeah.
and it'll be done before you even know it's happening.
Yes,
Lot of
unless they all miss.
Unless they all miss. In which case, time to turn tail and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of turning tail, we are at the end of the second round, and we are at the turn.
no.
Well, no, we're at the turn. We're coming to the turn.
Oh, we're coming up to the turn.
This is the turn here. So, Blake, you are going to be getting the pick number 10 and pick number 11, the end of the round 2 and start of round 3. What have you got for us, sir?
Well, there were definitely a couple of potential picks there that got taken out, unfortunately. That's the downside of going first. You have to wait a long time for it to come back around.
But now you get a good mid-range pick here, so we'll see.
Look, I think I'm going to have to go with the two games that just stick out to me on this top 100 list.
Let's go pick 10 and see what you
pick
got
number
there.
10 has got to be Great Western Trail.
Great Western Trail. Oh
No.
Here's the ban, the final ban hammer.
Also, bingo.
Oh,
Wow, that was quick.
That was a quick.
Congratulations, man, on winning the bingo.
Freezes to free cross. Oh, well, that's all good. I would have had it run after us all. No! Oh, well.
So, in my mind, I was thinking, I could get a bingo here. If no one picks that, I'm going to have to pick it and ban myself just to win the trophy.
I was thinking when that comes into play, when you
I'm pretty sure as soon as Matt saw it was a Star Wars related trophy, he's like, I need to rig this so I
I'm
win.
taking that out.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, and there's the band. So we all have had the band. So the 4 bands that we had, Terraforming Mars, Great Western Trail, Crokinole, and Twilight Imperium 4th edition. So that means you cannot pick GWT anymore, but let's see what
You can
your-
pick 2nd edition, though.
Ooh, second.
Oh, Argentina really wanted. You ain't played Argentina.
Is Argentina in the top 100?
Well, we have played
don't think
second
it is.
edition.
No, is it second edition? Second
now.
edition, is it?
Yeah.
No, well, look, I think if that's been banned out, then I'm going to have to go with the second pick, which was going to be Root.
Ooh,
This game-
yeah.
Definitely left an impression on me, Damien. When you introduced us, and I think it's just the variety that this game brings to the table. You know, the amount of different sort of different tribes you can play, different types of
The factions.
factions. Sorry, the amount of, and each faction, even though you're playing a different faction each time, so is your opponent, and so it creates different interactions, a different way you're playing the game. Even though you absolutely demolished me in that second game.
Not me. I've only ever played the cats once, and I'm like, part of me is like, I need to keep playing them to get a dang win out of them, or at least be decent with them. But I still haven't yet. So
yeah, but no, the game's visually very striking, and yeah, I love it.
All right,
Always the birds.
Well, back us in here because you've got pick number 11 as well. So we move into the third round now of the draft, and after this round, we'll do a quick recap of our lists, so you can see what they are. But to start the first round, Blake, we move to you, and let's see what you've got coming into the third round now, knowing that you currently have Arc Nova and Root in your collections. Collection.
I really wasn't expecting that band. It's
kind of screwed him up a bit.
So you have what was it? Zoo Bums or something like Zoo Bums, and you have Root.
No, I think
Bumzoo and Root. That's what his collection is
They're
right
two
now.
very different games. Bumzoo, the bums are on this. Never mind.
That's an entirely...
It's a complicated rule book, that one. You need to wear gloves when you read it. But...
All right, Blake.
Fully recycled.
Fully recycled.
I think I've got too many options. I think I'm going to have to take... Look, I'm definitely a big board game player. I enjoy my, big sprawling types of games.
Don't we all?
But I'm going to have to take something a little bit easier and something that we've done on the podcast before. I'm going to take Quacks of Quinlanburg.
Ooh, love it.
Pick.
A silly one.
It's all good.
This game's one of those games where you just... It's so fun. They're pulling the chips out of your bag and revealing whether or not you've blown up your potion. It's fantastic. It just creates those silly, laughable moments where you can't control your laughter. And you're waiting.
It doesn't
in
matter what game I
anticipation.
play, Blake. I cannot control that.
Yeah, so definitely Quacks. It's got to be it.
I do think having a good lighter game in your collection is a good way to help, maybe swing the vote in your potential in your favor. All right, Quacks of Quedlinburn, a good addition there. So we move to pick number 12, which is with myself for the second pick of the third round, and I too have been thinking. I've got a couple of really big heavy games in Brass and Eclipse currently sitting in my collection, and then it's like, and maybe I'll add one more just for funsies. And I think I will, just because this could either really annoy Damien or it could really annoy someone else.
You're gonna be a douchebag.
I think
100%. He's gonna be a douchebag.
Because it's a game that he's only just introduced to me.
Oh,
but it did have a really
No,
big...
this is literally a big game. Is that right?
It is a big game.
Yes.
I'm going to be taking essentially another sci-fi game, and this is potentially putting myself in a corner, but Gaia Project is going to be my third.
Wow, didn't you only played it once?
Doesn't matter. It had that much of an effect on me.
Wow.
And I got the win as well. So,
That's important to know, yes.
And it is very important to win.
Yeah.
But also, I know that was going to annoy Damien to hell and back, because I know that he was like, yep, this is I love this game. It's one of my core games. So
It is a great game, yeah.
I'm going to be taking Gaia Project. It is it's a game, Blake, that you would love, because it's very much turning cubes into other cubes. And
Sci-fi theme.
Sci-fi production, cube generation, and with enough interaction between the players that it's always keeping you engaged. Really highly recommended. It had that much of an effect on me, and looking at the games here, that is what it's going to be.
So the way you were saying
pick.
it was a big game, I literally thought it was going to be El Grande.
I did think about that, but I don't know if I'm that mean for him at this particular moment. Maybe later, we'll see.
Seriously, everyone's picking on me.
I'm not picking
Not
on him. I got
intentionally.
your
Not
back.
intentionally. It's
I'll
just,
grow up.
Everyone's
all right. Well,
Hang on.
First, he doesn't know how to have fun. Okay.
yeah.
Remember, you joined this podcast.
That's right. You knew what you were getting into.
Suppose I drove here. Yeah, I elected to come
That's
here.
fair.
You had to leave your family to come here. Oh,
Fair.
God. All right,
You had to leave your family.
all right, Damien. Well,
Daddy will be home one day, kids. I promise.
Damien, you are arguably in one of the toughest positions in the draft, though, because you will never get a double pick or a close pick. You always just have to wait. So, look, let's move to your third pick here. Pick number 13 here in the third and the third pick of the third round.
So I think we've got Fun Times game. We have Family game. Now, we also need a solo game because, you know what? People suck. Throw rocks at them. Me.
He's got a point. People do suck.
People do suck.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So, originally it was going to be Mage Knight. Fuck you, whoever picked Mage Knight.
I'm not even sorry about that.
Yeah, all right.
I'm not even sorry about that.
So, close second. It's not specifically a solo game. Too many bones.
I did think that was on your list.
Fantastic game. Basically, you play Dungeons and Dragons adjacent characters called Gearlocks. They are traversing the countryside. They are beating up baddies. They are ultimately trying to beat a boss. But mechanically, what you're doing in this game is you are Diablo style upgrading these characters using dice. So you unlock dice, you upgrade dice throughout the game. And the more dice you basically unlock and upgrade, the more dice you have towards the end of the game. So there's this great thing where towards the end, you basically have 2 fistfuls of dice and you're just throwing them across the table.
Love it.
Ton of fun. Crazy expensive, but it is also waterproof. So hey, sure,
Yeah.
take whatever you like from that statement. But it's a brilliant game.
All right, so we have landscaping tools and we have waterproof board
That's
games,
right. Yes.
so that's pretty good.
So yes. So
Yeah.
if you have to coat the inside of a retaining wall, you can also use this game.
We can use that as the liner.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Love it.
We should do a podcast about board games you can play in the bath, just so we can feature that game one day.
I think so. We should do like a Burke's backyard, but for board games. You got the hat already, Matt.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've already been cast, haven't I? Oh, damn it.
All right. And with that, we move on to pick number 4 of the third round, Mr. Ralph.
I do want to say a lot of the games that we're featuring are heavy games, such as Too Many Bones and things like that. There's a high point of entry, but the Board Game Geek Top 100 is voted by board gamers. So typically they're all going to be heavy games.
Or at least games that people think are really good or for some reason or another, whether or not it piques something in there.
That's right.
Yeah.
But for me, at the moment, I've got Gloomhaven and Mage Knight. Arguably, they're rather selfish picks, but I want to play games with people as well. And Damien taught us a game, and we had it as our gateway game just last week. I'm going to take Cascadia.
Ah, that was my next pick.
Nice.
Damn it. Good pick.
The point of entry of that game, I could see that getting to the table 10 times over so easily. The replayability is there with the different types of tiles and the scoring and how you want to line them up. And the choices you make each turn feel of importance as well. And it's a very simple game. I was absolutely enthralled with it last week. I can't wait for it to go on special.
Yeah. That's a very good pick. That was going to be my next pick.
Yeah.
I was literally like, I need a lighter game.
Definitely got to
And
balance this out.
It's currently sitting in the top 50. It's currently ranked 47th on the list.
There's
so
also an expansion about to come out.
I
for it.
saw
Yeah.
that actually. Yeah.
So it's pretty good. All right. And to round us out at the end of the third round, Matt, with your third pick.
I'm going to go with a game that we've only played once. I've only played once, but no, I want to keep playing, and that's Pandemic Legacy. Would be S1, I think.
Yeah, season 1.
That's what we played. Yeah.
Yep. It's a big pick. It's the second rated game on the list. It's number 2.
It was So
I thought
We haven't actually played the Legacy. We've just played Pandemic, but he knows
we played Legacy. We opened the box, but we actually
haven't
haven't
started-
got
we
to
haven't
the
started
Legacy
the
part of
campaign
it.
yet,
So we
no.
did the warm
just to
up.
introduce you to the system.
we did the warm
Yeah.
up. But by the way, the first game you play is literally the base game anyway.
Yeah.
And then the second month is when it starts getting
Well, there
the
you go. So
legacy
you have
element.
played Pandemic.
But we
Legacy.
haven't officially started it
We
anyway.
started
will.
the Legacy part of
Yeah, that's
Pandemic
right.
Legacy. But yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And it's actually every time a post comes up from our group online, I'm like, can't wait till we get together and play that game again.
Yeah.
'Cause we said we would get through
So-
a Legacy game and scared the crap out of Jane when I said, yeah, we throw cards out and you turn cards.
You rip 'em up, yeah.
and she doesn't like that at all.
I'll tell you what, like I've beaten it many years ago. I can't wait to play through it again. It's amazing. It's such an amazing game.
Well, we've only just been able to get Matt and Blake back in the same room together tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now hopefully we've set the trend for the rest of the year and we'll be able to get this one going.
Yeah, I'll never come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, before you never come back, you need to give us the first pick of the fourth round as we hit the turn and we go to the fourth round. So, Matt, please give us your first pick of this round as we work our way back.
Really struggling. There's a lot of games have been taken off the board that I would have picked. And so I'm not sure. I think I'm going to have to go, and it's not going to be a popular pick, with Viticulture, actually.
I rather enjoy that game.
I've kind of shut up about it because every time we've brought it up, every time it's been brought up lately, it's been me saying, "Yeah, I sold viticulture. I got rid of viticulture.
I sold it, knowing that I liked it, but knowing that I probably wouldn't make it to the table as much as I would like. That's it. And
Hold on, whoa! You sold viticulture?
Yeah, with the Tuscany expansion.
Me too.
Yeah,
it was great.
There you go.
To be honest,
Shout out to Tristan, who's watching us. Like one of our viewers, Tristan, who's actually part of our Discord community. I sold it to him, so
nice.
He was like, "I really want it." I went, "Sweet." Like, I actually do really like the game, though. I really do like actually the flow of the worker placement.
I really enjoyed it, and I need a worker placement game, so yeah, I'm sticking with my choice.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a bad choice at all. I think it's a really good one.
I have to be honest. Like, I had the game as well. I did move it on. I held on to it for about a year. I quite enjoyed it, but there's other games to play that I've got. So, but it is a fun game. Yeah.
Well, Matt, you're in good company with viticulture because it is obviously. I mean, it's in the top 100, so a lot of other people also really like it. It's currently ranked 32 on the list, so it's not a bad pick in any way, shape, or form. So. Yeah, don't feel ashamed because we've sold it. I actually kind of regret.
I feel no shame ever.
I kind of regret selling it from time to time. To be honest, I'm like, I kind of actually wish I still had it. Anyway, moving on.
You can buy it off Matt.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it soon enough.
Oh, there you go.
One of my only 5 games, apparently.
All right, we're gonna move to pick number 2 of the fourth round. Mr. Ralph, we need your 4th pick, sir.
Did you do a double just then?
He did. He picked Pandemic Legacy.
Yes, he did.
And then Viticulture.
Oh, okay. Tough choices. Tough choices. Because I've got a few games written down here, and I realize I've only got 2 left. So
we're in the pointy end right now.
Yeah, I think lately the way my board game playstyle is right now is going to dive into that more solo side of things, and I'm revisiting Arkham Horror LCG. That is a great game from the Arkham Horror line of games, that sort of theme with like monsters and ghouls and cultists and things, and there's a deck building element, and during the campaign of a story you upgrade those cards. You can sort of redraw, construct a little bit. But mainly what's drawing me in is there's a story to the game. So, for example, there could be like an experiment at a university, and then the monster gets loose and starts killing students. But like you are in direct control of the storyline as to what happens, and then you're stuck with what happens. It haunts you into the next game of story of the campaign. So the story, although I've seen some of it before, it's still hooking me in because every game is different and you live with those consequences, which is amazing.
Love it. So that's a really interesting pick. Damon, did you want to add into there with that pick?
Add more to Ralph's? No, I've never played it.
All right.
I've never played that.
You're going to have to add something now because it is your pick.
I appreciate that.
So
get the whip out there.
Get the whip out. The second last pick.
All right, second last pick. Anyone who's played games with me or has seen my collection, they know that I have not mentioned a single area control game yet.
Is it time?
It is time.
It's time for it.
It is time for the category of bathing in the blood of my enemies. Ooh. Blood Rage.
Oh, he's gonna get Blood Rage.
Always Blood Rage.
Blood Rage.
That's a great game.
So for those who haven't played Blood Rage, Blood Rage is an area control game with a drafting element where you all play Vikings and monsters.
Clans of Vikings. Yeah.
Clans of Vikings. Essentially, you have a small map, and you have the area of Yggdrasil right in the middle. So it is a sort of mythological Viking era style of game. And what you are trying to do is you are trying to control parts of the map right before Ragnarok. And there are 3. Ragnarok occurs 3 times during the game. And you get points for battling, you get points for dying, you get points for having a certain number of units in particular areas, so on and so forth. The rub with this game, though, is that the drafting element of the cards. So at the beginning of every single round, there are cards that get passed around. These cards will have references to different Norse gods. And these cards are basically rule breakers. They give you additional actions and they help you in battles and things like that. So it is a fantastic game. It is a little silly, but it's a ton of fun.
It's funny because it doesn't market itself, but like it comes off the surface as a serious strategy game.
It's
But
so
then when you're
fun.
playing it, it just feels like silliness. Like, oh, you put a warrior there, I'm going to put my sea monster there.
Yeah.
It kind of has that moment of like, kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so fun.
Or if everyone is like, oh, look, you guys have flooded that area with warriors. I'm going to put my fire giant there, which instantly
blows
kills
everything
everything
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always fun, isn't
Classic.
it? Yeah.
All right, so we move to my second last pick, and it's again, where I'm feeling the sting like the rest of everyone is here at the moment.
Squeeze.
And yes. So I'm gonna pick a game that again, it's probably gonna be another heavy game, but I just really love it, and I suck at it, but I know that I want to play more of it. I'm gonna pick Food Chain Magnate. I'm gonna go Food Chain Magnate because when we played that game,
That's a great
I
game,
had such a good time. Even though I got absolutely muscled out of the market in the late game, and Blake and I felt the sting of a radio campaign by Mr. Damien.
It's pretty funny, actually.
we actually got decimated by the.
Do you want to explain the game? Because a lot of
Yeah,
people won't know what that means.
Food Chain Magnate is a game about you are trying to create burgers, basically a restaurant chain.
It's fast food outlets.
But you're trying to then the main crux of the game is that you literally create a corporate pyramid, and those pyramids become like the actions that you can do on your turn, from cooking burgers to like doing marketing campaigns to training people to become better workers.
There's a waitress
There's a
strategy.
waitress. Like you literally create this mini pyramid of executives and people doing work, and it is so brutal because this game is a game that can go from everyone's kind of close to someone just putting down some particular billboard, and now every single house wants Coke, and only one person in the whole game is actually producing Coke. And therefore no one can fulfill orders except that guy, and now he's going to win the game because you were all idiots. You should have known that he was going to advertise to Coke.
He has a mustache that just looks like exactly like Pablo Escobar. So of course he's going to advertise the Coke.
That's the rub. That's the rub of this game, though, is that it's the order fulfillment stuff.
Yeah.
Where, granted, you may be able to fulfill part of an order, but it doesn't work that way. You have to be able to fulfill the whole order. Otherwise, no one is getting the money.
They want 2 drinks and a burger. You best have 2 drinks and a burger. Otherwise, one drink and a burger. What is this trash?
And I think my favorite part about this game when we played was, I mean, I'm used to playing games like TI4 or Bus, which we also played recently, where these games where you build up your base from the start, and if you're not consistently scoring points round after round after round, you fall behind, and it's all about trying to get that flow going. Whereas I tried to employ the same tactics into this game, just score steadily from the start, and then we got to just the final round of the game, and I just came and got blown out of the water.
Yeah,
because it didn't matter what base I had at the start. I couldn't sell Coke. I didn't have the setup for Coke, and someone added Coke to the orders, and
then we all lost, and then it was over. But yeah, it was so much fun. I realize I'm a bit of a sucker for pain when it comes to I love these highly interactive mean games where it's like when I'm playing with you guys, it's just so much fun where it's like, well, yeah, it's like, oh god, but when you're the one dishing out the pain, it's just so much fun. So Food Chain Magnate is going to make it to my number 4, and then we'll bring it to the turn for his penultimate pick and his final pick, Mr. Blake, with your pick number 20 total, but your 4th pick and your 5th pick. Let's go.
yeah. So it's definitely getting tight now, but I think I've locked in my final 2 picks based on, I think there were definitely a couple of picks. I'm not going to mention any names, which were going to be on my last couple of picks, but this has really made this choice easy for me. I think I'm going to go with number 4. I'm going to go with Concordia.
Damien is not having a good time. Damien is not having a good time right now.
I
love that pick for you. That's so good.
It was just one of those games. Again, I've only played it had the one play, but it was just another one of these games, very thoughtful, engaging games, which drew me straight in. Had a lot of things going on and a lot of things you had to consider. With more than one, I always love when games have more than one route to play. You're not all competing for the same sort of. You got to choose your speciality, and you got to take it down to the end. And this is another one of those games where the theme just does it for me.
I just recently taught that game to 4 new players, and went around the table taking our turns once. By the time we did that the second time, everyone knew how to play it.
Yeah.
Like there was still some jank for them to understand the scoring, but in terms of how to play the game, it was so quick.
Yeah, definitely. That's the experience I had. I mean, I know that, I play board games week in, week out now, but honestly, and it's, look, no shade on your teach, Damien over there, but when I came out of that, but no, that's serious. Nothing to do with the teach. I just came out and thought, I'm not really sure I get this. But again, you just one play, one round. Yeah, completely understand.
We're also doing a 5-player on TTS, which is always a bit of a hard thing as well. So.
That's Tabletop Simulator.
All right, and so that is your 4th pick. And so to bring us into round number 5, bring us home, Blake. What is your final pick?
Just quickly. Fuck you guys. I'm not teaching you guys any more games.
Me too. What did I pick?
I'm really hoping that this is
probably
Damien's last pick.
It probably will.
I'm hoping. So look, I'm going to have to go with another game that we played recently. This one's on the easier side. Again, it's going to be Clank. It's got to be Clank. Such an easy game.
Damn it. Damn it.
As long as I screw someone over, that's
annoying.
Yeah, it's just another one of those games where you just, like you said, you play one round and you're straight into it. You know exactly what you're doing. It's very simple, very easy, and I love the procedural map. And it's
so that's only in Catacombs, which I just looked it up. It was like 482 rank.
Yeah,
you can't have that. You can have base Clank.
But I like the. But yeah, I love the going around trying to find the treasures. It's such a simple game, easy to do, and it takes that same sort of feeling from Quacks of pulling things out of the bag and slowly revealing. It just creates those.
I know you're a sucker for a deck builder, engine builder, and a deck builder. That's it. Just he needs to build something.
He's a handyman.
Fair enough.
He's the handyman of the podcast. I think that's great.
Yeah, we should have nicknames. You're the handyman. You're Burke's backyard.
You're a dickhead.
Oh, mercy. All right.
Nothing like a gentle hazing to welcome Damien into the podcast.
Yep.
Oh, love it. Okay, so we're going to move.
We were subtle. We started subtle.
Subtle as a truck. Oh, God. All right, we're going to move on to my final pick here. And there was a game that I'm very tempted to take, but I'm not going to take it because Damien is sitting right next to me, and I don't really want to.
100% Damien's getting punchy.
He's getting punchy. There was a game that I was looking at, and I think it's a toss up here. I think I'm gonna have to stick with my gut here, and I'm gonna take a game that I wasn't so hot on when I first played it, but the more that I've thought about it after I've played it,
like, just you didn't enjoy it. Like,
I just didn't.
I'm not hot for board games. I don't understand.
It just didn't really. It didn't feel like it fulfilled something that I was wanting from the game.
Okay.
I guess
I get that.
Yeah.
But after I played it again,
Yeah.
I think I really want to play it again. And that game is Dune Imperium. I'm going to be taking as my final pick. Dune Imperium is a mixture of worker placement with minor bits of deck building. The expansions really do fix up the problems that I had with it the first couple of times. And then I really started to understand, once I understood that the game was not really a deck builder, but more after... almost like in that Res Arcana sort of like you have a micro deck of cards, you need to make them work as efficiently as possible. And once I understood that, the game really clicked for me. So I'm going to be taking Dune Imperium as my 5th final one. I know that I was going to take probably an easy game there, but you guys took the games I really wanted it for the easy game.
Oh,
so
didn't.
Well played.
Didn't.
So I'm going to do that. But Damien, don't worry, you can now have your final pick.
I do want to say with Dune Imperium, generally takes a couple of games to click for most
Yeah,
people.
it does.
Even board games, it takes them that one game really to click. But yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, and I actually do want to put it on that list. So, all right, Damien, your final pick here on the draft. What have you got for us with pick number 5?
I don't know. It's empty now because the new fuckers have picked them all.
Got no more colours left for us,
No
eh,
more
bud?
colours. All
Oh,
gone.
no.
The
No
rainbow.
more
The
bullets.
rainbow is
No
officially
more bullets.
transparent. All right. No, but look. For my last section, so I don't have a Euro. I have mini Euros. I can't pick any of them. But it's fine.
I was thinking about Concordia for my 5th pick, Blake, and you not picked it. I was probably me.
But for the category of, because sometimes you just need to let people know that you are smarter than them. I originally had Gaia Project. I
Yep.
can't now. So
Because I get
instead,
you at it. Sorry.
Instead, what we are going to go with is a game that is fantastic solo, is fantastic all the way up to 4 players, is only improved with the expansion, is also Norse themed, and it has polyomino tiles in it as well, which is
say more
amazing.
words.
More words. It's A Feast for Odin.
Oh, great game.
Yes. So in A Feast for Odin, what you are doing is you are playing with... So it's effectively a worker placement game where every single round you get an additional worker to place out. So essentially that represents your growing tribe. The thing, what this game is mostly famous for is the 60, I think it's 64, 68 placement slots. So there's actually 64 or 68 different
I think you really
worker
need to
placement
drive this home, Damo,
spots.
because it is so intimidating to a new player.
Yes.
When they see the 64 or 68 places you can put your
Yes.
meeples.
But I will say they are all categorized. They are all grouped in a logical manner.
If you like Excel, you'll love this game.
Yes, it is. It
I
is
do like
honestly.
Excel.
It is honestly an Excel board with pretty pictures.
Oh.
But what you are doing in this game is you are basically...
Well, no, my job is teaching people how to use an Excel spreadsheet. I don't need to play a board game with Excel spreadsheets.
Just don't teach people this game. You'll be fine.
just don't teach it. Just
Yeah.
put it in front of them and then just decimate
Just
them.
get me away from the grids. Get me away from the grids.
But what you are also doing in this game is you're basically trading materials. So you put your workers out in order to get materials. Materials come in these polyomino shapes, but then you are trying to find the most efficient way to either sell and buy better materials or trade these materials, because then these shapes go on your actual board. That board during certain phases will then allow you to get bonuses. Brilliant game. It is still a very, very dry Euro, but it's got little fun bits added to it, and it is a fantastic game.
For me, why I really like that game is because the theme of Vikings shines through. You can go hunting, you can go pillaging, you can things like that, and it's just
Absolutely.
you can learn the mechanics through the theme.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to teach once you get that.
And I'll quickly say the reason why I really like it solo as well is because you actually play alternate rounds against yourself. So you actually play with 2 different colors. You will put some workers out of one color, and they will block spots in the second round. It prevents you from being able to employ the same tactics round after round. It's simple, but it's quite clever.
Yeah, I haven't come across another solo worker placement that does that.
Yeah.
Like there's other games like Architects of the West Kingdom that has a solo variant, but it's just flipping a card and you put workers down. Dune Imperium has another solo variant, but it's essentially that.
Yeah.
The Feast for Odin means you're taking those first round decisions with you to your second round.
Yeah.
And that's what makes that really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Ralph, the penultimate pick of the entire draft is yours, sir. Please hit us with the final choice in your draft collection.
Sure thing, Nate. So something that I love about board gaming is a co-op experience when you're all a team of people and you're going up against the game. It's like we're not going to let the system beat us. The system beats us every day at work, but we're not going to let that happen here.
I think I know what's coming.
I think
Yes.
I'm going to take a stab too. I'm already writing it.
All right, Nate, do you want to take a stab? What is it?
Is it Spirit Island?
It is Spirit Island. Yeah, so Spirit Island, it's a game I've had for many years. I absolutely adore this game. It shines through the theme where you play as spirits. So you're these gods that this indigenous tribe called Dahan look up to. So you already feel like you're towering over the map as a god because you're just playing the game. And the cards shine where it's like, I'm the water god. I can cause a tsunami and kill the white people. Because yes,
The
that
white-
is literally
they are little white people. Like the actual
The-
plastic is white. and
the
they
invaders are
white.
white.
The invaders
and
are white.
the indigenous are
just-
not the color you think they are using that description. but, but that's a hard. What are they? They're wooden. What I like about they're wooden. They're kind of like one of the lands, and the white invaders are plastics. You know, they're toxic people.
Yeah.
So they're poisoning the land, and you as a team have to protect it. But you as a spirit have weaknesses that your other spirit, co-op teammate might be able to help you fill those gaps, and you're trying to find ways to help each other. There's a deck building element so you can help plug the holes in your game, and the replayability of this game, I'd say, is the most replayability I've seen out of any board game I've ever seen.
Love it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun when we played it. I'm not the biggest fan particularly of co-op games. Like I do like games that have consequence, which is why I'm really excited for Pandemic, but Spirit, I did bounce off a little bit, but I really did enjoy the actual feeling of being a god. Like when you're playing your big powers and you're totally affecting the game board, you're like, ooh, I do feel very powerful right now.
Yeah, it's a game where you feel weak at the start, and then you get to that point, you feel really powerful.
Yeah.
But it's about surviving to that point, and it's just such a challenging experience. And if you're there with 3 people that are really there for the game, it just shines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. All right, Matt, round us out here, mate, with your final pick of the draft, the last pick in total. What is your 5th pick for your collection?
Well, I was going to go with Dominion, and then I realized it's Dominion Intrigue, and I haven't played that. I've only played the base level of the game. So I thought, well, if I'm going to have to pick something that I haven't played yet, I've been scrolling through, and I've found a game that I think I would just like to own. I've never played it, but just based on the pictures alone and my history of buying games, if I had seen this in the Kickstarter time, I certainly would have purchased this. It's called Mechs vs. Minions.
The League of Legends board
I saw
game.
someone selling that today, actually.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
can you link that to me? Cause
Yeah, I will. I'll find it now
If
for
I get
you.
it from Amazon, it's nearly $600, but it's filled with minifigs. It's colorful. I have no idea what it's got. A top secret folder for some reason. I don't care. I just want that in my collection.
It is basically a game made by the Riot Games, essentially, Mechs vs. Minions, and it is essentially the guys are programmed to the minions are programmed to do specific actions, and you as the mechs have to then
defeat the minions.
Yeah. It's a really interesting
tray
game.
versus tray of minis. It just looks sexy in the box. So I'm going for that.
Look, there are those of us in the hobby that are players, and there are those of us that are collectors. And if you are just buying it just to own it for the collecting, that is all good as well. No shame with there. Right, that brings us to the end of the draft. Let us go through, because this is some very interesting picks here. So we're going to go through the bands. We had Blake and Damien both banned Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Matt banned Great Western Trail. I banned Crokinole because I don't like Fun Times, apparently. And Ralph banned Terraforming Mars. Though those 4 games were off
Blake
the
is giving me such a death stare right now. It's turning me on.
All right, so Blake, here was your picks, and this is your collection. Blake, first pick was Ark Nova. Second pick, Root. Third pick was Quacks of Quedlinburg. Fourth pick, Concordia. And fifth pick was Clank, a deck building
I think we should give
adventure.
each of us a nickname based off our collections.
Well, let me go through the rest of them and have a think about it when we have a listen. So, Damien, here is your collection. Damien's first pick was The Crew. The second pick was Azul. Third pick was Too Many Bones. Fourth pick, Blood Rage. And fifth pick, rounding it out, was A Feast for Odin. Matt, your 5 games. First pick was Search for Planet X. Second pick was Decrypto. Third pick, Pandemic Legacy Season 1. Fourth pick, Viticulture. And fifth pick, Mechs vs. Minions. Ralph, your 5 picks, so straight off the board with your first pick was Gloomhaven. Second pick was Mage Knight. Third pick was Cascadia. Fourth pick was the Arkham Horror LCG. And your final pick was Spirit Island. And finally, we come to myself. My pick was, first pick, Brass Birmingham. Second pick was Eclipse. Third pick was Gaia Project. Fourth pick, Food Chain Magnate, and 5th pick was June Imperium.
I think I have a nickname for you already.
Go for it. You can.
You're not gonna like it.
It's alright. I think
You don't. I don't like fun time. Something about
No,
I don't
no,
like
no.
fun times.
I'm gonna call you the Virgin Gamer
the Virgin Gamer.
because a lot of those games you have only played once.
I was gonna go with Damien's shelf.
Oh,
See, I
Because they're
feel
all on my shelf.
that's true.
Damien second. I don't own a single one of those board games, and you know what? I don't feel worse for it.
That's fine.
The Virgin Gamer, because no one wants to fuck him. Well, that's a terrible thing to
That's
say.
Blake's butt zoo.
I'd just like to say, Ralph, I think for you, your nickname for me is something about hexagons, because both Gloomhaven, Mage Knight, Cascadia, and in a weird way, Spirit Island, it doesn't yet use hexes, but uses that kind. It does use the hexagonal shapes. It kind of has at least 3 or 4 adjacencies in each of their land masses, but at least 3 of your 5 games use hexes in some way or another.
So there's 6 sides of me.
Just 6-sided gamer. No,
Doctagon.
A D6 gamer.
See,
the octagon is 8. Damo, what are you doing? We're all going a bit crazy at the end of the draft.
I had a slightly different name in mind for Ralph, which I actually found quite.
Ooh.
I found this little tidbit quite surprising. Shit, I haven't played. I haven't played a single game in your collection.
Oh,
so
really?
That's something.
Well, we
yeah.
have to fix that. We have to fix
gonna
that.
have to
That's for
fix
sure.
that.
Considering you said you wanted to dive into solo gaming at the
Yeah.
start of the year as well, we should definitely fix that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, look, guys, that was a lot of fun. I think, please feel free to rip into any of these collections.
So, what was Matt's collection again?
Matt's
sorry?
collection was Search Planet Extra Crypto, Pandemic Legacy Season 1, Viticulture, and Mechs vs. Minions.
So generally, the first 3 was a puzzle theme to it. Sherlock Holmes, maybe you got the hat, so it's kind of throwing me to the
Is he
Sherlock
Burke or
Holmes vibe.
Sherlock?
I don't know. I don't know.
Sherlock Burke.
Sherlock's backyard.
Burlock.
Oh shit! Look what I found down here.
There's a crime scene.
Fucking hell.
I almost feel like Damien should be called the reject pile, because it was like, this is not his first picks for anything. This is
Sloppy
This
seconds.
is his second pick for everything. on
Damien's
No, it
nickname
was-
should just be.
Not even played the last one was my 4th pick.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah,
there.
Damien was not happy. I wonder what the draft would look like. Like if we pick different numbers in the snake order, we'll all have very different
And
collections.
that's what part of the fun of a draft is,
Yeah.
which is that depending on the position you are in, it depends on like what you have to do, right? So anyway,
But looking at my collection, I wouldn't be unhappy with it.
no,
I wouldn't be unhappy with anyone's collection right now, because I was even looking at Blake's collection, and honestly, they're the games that we play at home a lot. Granted, they're not my favorite games, but they're not bad games, and I still do enjoy them. And I enjoy them mostly because they're the games that I play with my son. So so I would be rapt having those 5 games in my collection.
Yeah, I agree as well.
I'm just happy I got Cascadia in.
Yeah. Well, look, before we start wrapping this up and getting to the end of this episode, which has been a lot of fun, if you have been enjoying it, please go to our YouTube channel. You can find this video podcast so you can see all the shenanigans in person. But also, please head to our YouTube page. Our Facebook page. I just said YouTube. Facebook.com/groups/Board Game Gateway. There you're going to find a post that has our picks there, and we'd like you to go and vote. Basically, we think we've got good collections here.
I think I just gave you my screen grab of my face.
Yeah, you did. That was very much a Burke's backyard place, photo.
Bird's backyard a
I'm
rest.
sorry, it's the hat.
Jesus, it hasn't been on TV for the last 20 years.
You know, I met him actually.
But if you-
Really?
Yeah, he was such a nice guy.
If you think
This
anyone
evening,
here
he's
needs
sitting
to
over
have a
there.
sympathy vote, if you think anyone here needs a sympathy vote, maybe you should go to our Facebook.
Just give it to Burke.
Give it to Burke over there. You could go and vote for which one you think has, which one of us has the best collection. We think they're great, but the decider will be the audience. So
Look, it was very hard because every game had to be in the top 100. So we're showing all these heavy games to people that may not even heard of them.
and the next time that we do a segment like this as well, this is one that we are doing because we like these games and we want to play them more. But the next time that we do another segment like this, we are going to bring it back to a focused, maybe something a lot more hyper focus. Maybe something like when the party don't start till this walks in, right, or something like that. It's like what
Kesha comes in with a board game.
Yeah, exactly right. Kesha brings in one board game, and that's what gets the party started. Something like that. But we'll figure it out. But gentlemen, I would like to say thank you very much for gathering around the table, Last Supper style. This has been.
Yes, one of us will betray him.
Which one? You're sitting to my left.
You're the werewolf.
Yeah, exactly right. Anyway,
The rooster crows. No. I'll stop now.
I'm choking on my own rage here. Oh god. Oh god. Thank you so much for joining us in this week's podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave a review. Go to our YouTube. Go to our Facebook page. We are starting to grow the community. We also, if you want to come join us for games on Board Game Arena and be involved in a lot more chat, we actually have Discord is becoming a lot more active at the moment, which is really good. So we'd love to see you there. Go to our website at www.boardgamegateway.com. All the links you'll find on our website as well. So I'd like to thank these 4 lovely gentlemen sitting around me for joining us again. Mr. Matt, Mr. Blake, Mr. Damien, Mr. Ralph, and I am your host, Mr. Neva. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in episode 33. Bye for now.
Bye,
everyone.
Yeah.